welcome back to Cosmeholics Anonymous. I am your favorite baby mama, Bo Vintage, and today's video is a story time. I have not done a story time in 100 years. I know you guys are like fiending for the stories, so I'm here to drop a gem for you, okay? Okay, let's get this shit poppin'. This is 5 times partying ruined my freaking life. Like, in Ontario, the legal drinking age is 19. So right before I turned 19 is when I started drinking, but I didn't actually start clubbing until I was like literally 19. So from 19 to like 22, I was a club rat. I loved to go out on the weekend. Me and my homegirls, we would go out, whatever. And so actually, before I turned 19, it was the same, I was turning 19 that year, but I wasn't 19 yet, and so I needed a fake ID to get into the club because my friend's birthday was in March, but mine was in April, and so she was already 19. My birthday was coming up, but I didn't have an ID. So the girl that I worked with, I think I mentioned this in a story time before, the girl that I worked with gave me her ID. She actually gave me 2 IDs. She gave me one that could pass as me because it was when she was 16 and it was her license, and then she gave me a second one that I would just use as backup. One night I decided that I wanted to go to the club and whatever, we were gonna vibe out, so we pre-drank and we get to the club and we're waiting in line. So as we're waiting in line, we're getting closer and closer. This is not my first time sneaking into the club or using like an ID that wasn't mine to get into the club. It's probably like my 2nd or 3rd time doing it. So at this point, I'm kind of comfortable with it. I have a little bit of anxiety, but I'm not like, you know, tripping balls like I was the first time. Because I remember the first time, it just did not work. It did not work. It was like a hot ass mess. I tried to go in right after my friend, but it was the friend that I was with and I was using her ID. And once I realized, and then the bouncer caught the play and she was like, bitch, you ain't finna get in here today. So we couldn't go to that club. And so from that time that we tried to do it that way, I realized I had to get my own ID. I couldn't just use her passport while she was using her ID, even though the pictures were like years apart. We get to the club and we're standing in line, and we get to the front of the line and the bouncers are taking IDs, and I show him my ID, and of course, because I don't know, my luck is just shot. He knows the girl on the ID, and so he looks at me, he's like, Alex? And I'm just like, yeah. He's like, you're not Alex. And I'm just like, yes, I the fuck am. Like, what do you mean? How are you gonna tell me I'm not Alex? He's like, oh no, you're not, because I know Alex personally and this is not your ID, so either you stole this or I don't know, but I'm not letting you into this club because clearly you don't have your own ID to get in. I'm like, well, Sam. And so I'm a little tipsy, and so I'm trying to argue with the bouncer, and my friend's just staring because she doesn't know what to do at this point. And we want to go inside and have a good time, but the bouncer's not having it. And so I'm just like, okay, like chill, like there's a line. I'm getting embarrassed. I tried to like slip him 20 bucks. Homeboy's not taking it. I'm like, this finna be a breeze. No, bitch. No, he said, not today, big fella. He said, not today, big fella. And he was not budging. And I don't know if the $20 was insulting. I don't know if he would have taken 50, 100. I don't know what it was, but he wasn't having it. And so he didn't give me the ID back, but he said he's not letting me into the club. And so there's a lineup of people, and my ass has to do the walk of shame because I came unprepared. I was really trying to convince this man that that was my ID. I was like, I have a second ID if you want to see it, homeboy. Like, I'm telling you, I am her. And he's like, no, because I know this girl personally and you're not her, and I'm not letting you into this club. So I had to do the walk of shame, and I was so embarrassed, and I just felt dumb because I was drunk and stumbling because I was wearing 6-inch heels. And yeah, my night was pretty much ruined, but that was the first time, but not the worst time that partying ruined my life. So the second story is basically what happens when you have a whole ass friend, and the whole ass friend likes to meet guys in the club and like leave the club with the guys, and that's not my cup of tea. I've never been that girl, you know. I was raised rat, okay? And so my only thing is I'm not about to let my friend go somewhere alone with multiple men. So I decide that when she says that, well, we were hanging out with the guys all night in their booth because we was mad cute, okay? So we were hanging out with the guys in the booth and we were vibing with them and drinking their bottles. And I guess, I don't know if in their head they thought that that meant that some nookie needed to be given. It wasn't gonna be my nookie, tell you that. But they wanted to hang out with us after the club, and this is at like 3 o'clock in the morning, so there's no real need for them to be wanting to hang out with us if it's not for that. My friend, as drunk as she was, she wanted to go with them, and I was like, no, like, let's just go home, let's hop in our cab and go home. And she's like, they're gonna pay our cab fare back if we go to their blah 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 blah. And I was like, no, they're not. Like, I don't know what kind of lies the guy that was talking to her was feeding her, but he was definitely a bold-faced liar. He wasn't about to give her no damn money. So I can't convince her to let's go home. So I'm like, okay, I'll just go with her, whatever. Like, I'm not really interested in any of the guys in the booth, so she's on her own. If she wants to have sex with somebody, she's a grown-ass woman, she can do what she want to do. I ain't finna stop her. After the club, we hop in their car, and first of all, pretty sure their designated driver wasn't designated anymore because I'm pretty sure he was drinking too, which I do not like. I do not condone it. I freaking can't stand when the designated driver is like, I'm gonna have a shot. Like, no, bitch, you're not. You're the DD for a reason. Anyway, we get in their little SUV, and they lived on the opposite side of the city than us, because if I was to hop into my cab, it would have brought me to Scarborough, but they were going west. They were going to like Mississauga or some BS like that. And I was like, they are not going to pay for a cab. This is not Uber times, okay? I'm like, they are not going to pay for a cab from Mississauga to Scarborough. I don't see that happening. They're either gonna try to get us to sleep over, somebody's gonna drive us home in the morning or some weird shit like that, and I'm not going home in the morning in my club clothes. I ain't finna do that walk of shame. I did a different walk of shame on another night. I ain't finna do a walk of shame tonight, boo. It's just not going down like that. So this is why you should always walk with Bex money, BT dub, or only go out on pay week, child. So that if you do run into a situation like this, you can leave when the frig you want, and you don't have to wait for somebody, you don't have to depend on somebody to bring you home or something like that. Anyway, we drive west and we go to the West End, and we're in some shitty little condo, okay? I shouldn't even call it a condo. I'm gonna call it an apartment building, okay? It's not, well, it was a condo, but like, it wasn't like, the condo itself was nice, but like, they weren't taking care, I don't know which person the condo belonged to, but they were not upkeeping their condo, you know? We're all hanging out there. They still have bottles. They still want us to drink more, and I'm like, I'm good, like, thanks. I'm just here for moral support at this point. I'm just here for her, whatever. I'm just talking to the guys in the living room. There's more than one guy in there. I'm feeling mad uncomfortable because I'm just like, okay, she's gone off with the other guy. I'm here with two dudes. Like, this is not a ideal situation for me. Like, I'm not comfortable, you know what I mean? Like, I don't feel safe. It was just like, I just felt vulnerable because I didn't know that they were strangers. I'm drinking, but a lot of the times when you're in a situation like this, you'll sober up real quick. So I knew to not drink anymore because I felt like I wasn't in control of the situation. So my friend goes off and decides that she's gonna be knocking boots with homeboy or sucking cock. Girl, I don't know what she was doing in there, and I didn't care. That was none of my damn business. I was just here talking to these two guys, and they were kind of cool. They were hella cool. We was just vibing, talking, and I guess getting to know each other. And they were asking if we're gonna come out next weekend with them and all this, and I was just like, I couldn't tell you if I'm gonna come out. I might be working, you know. I don't know if I'll be around next week. She might be, but I don't know about me. So she goes off with the guy, and you know, I try not to judge people, you know. I try to, you know, not judge people. So despite the fact that we just met these guys in the club tonight and she decided that she wanted to knock boots, it wasn't a big deal to me. I mean, I wouldn't, but I don't know what to say about that. Anyway, and this is why I become people off, because my mama always told me you are who your friends are, and if my friends are out here knocking boots on the first night they met somebody having one night stands, well, I'm finna be that person too, and I can't be that person. Like I said, I was just in like the condo just vibing with these guys. They were still drinking, and it gets to the point now where I'm like, I want to leave, but my friend is still in the room with the guy, and I don't know what's going on, and I can't really just go and like bust open the door and be like, you know, what's going on in here, because we can hear them having sex, and it's really uncomfortable. And I was kind of glad at this point that there was two guys and not just one guy, because I feel like if there was one guy, he would kind of be pushing up on me. But because there was two guys, they kind of just, you know, tried to catch my vibe and see who I would vibe with more, but I kept it real neutral, you feel me, so that the other one wouldn't feel left out. And you know what I'm saying? Okay, it's awkward to hear people mating in the other room, by the way, just throwing that out there. And yeah, so once it gets kind of quiet, the guy comes out of the room, but she's still in there, and I'm like, oh my god, is my friend dead in the bed? Let me know, like, is she okay? And then I asked the guy, I'm like, is she good to go now, like, you know? And he's like, why don't you guys just stay till the morning, we'll bring you home, or blah blah blah, or pay your cab, blah blah blah. And I was like, no, I'm good, like, I need to go home, like, I have things to do tomorrow, I can't be staying here overnight, like, you know, I have responsibilities, I'm an adult. Making up every excuse in the book to leave, but I was trying to not seem like a prude, you know what I mean? I was trying to not seem like I was a goody two shoes, and like I needed to get home, and like I had a curfew and stuff. Well, I didn't have a curfew, but like I was just trying to act like I was not fazed by the situation, but I just wanted to go home, because nobody wants to, like, it's the worst to wake up in somewhere else that's not home after the club. It's the absolute worst. Like, even if it's just at your friend's house, and you're just like, ew, like, I just want to go home. Like, you're drunk, you just want to lay in your own bed. So I realized that she probably wants to stay the night, so I was just like, can I go in there and talk to her for a second? And he's like, yeah, do your thing. So I go in there, the room stinks, okay? It smelled like catfish and mother effing sweats. So sorry about it. But it stunk. It smelled like sex, like, ugh. Anyway, I go in the room and I'm like, what we gonna call this bitch? We'll call her Amber. So I'm like, Amber, I want to go home. I only came here because I didn't feel right just letting you leave by yourself with these random ziggas. So what is the move? Like, are you done, or like, are you leaving with me, or what should I do? Because I would like to leave, and you know, now I have the address, bitch, so if anything happens to you, I can just say this is where you were last. And that's how I was feeling. And she's like, how she wants to stay, and I'm just like, girl, if you know how to, if first of all, this is a stranger that you just had sex with, so you don't need to stay for breakfast, bitch. Like, you got your D, let's boogity bounce. Like, I don't understand why you're trying to hang out, and I don't get it. Like, I don't get why she was trying to stay. She's trying to go another round. Like, we could go now. And I'm pretty sure with the way that room smelled, the guy probably wanted her to go too, honey. Oh my gosh, but whatever. She decides she wants to stay. I said, okay, I will see you later. She's like, wait, do you want me to get him to pay your cab fare for you? And I was just like, Amber, he's not gonna pay my cab fare. I'm not staying over. I don't know these people from nowhere. She's like, well, let me just ask him. I'm like, do your thing. She flings on her clothes real quick, comes out the room, and when she comes out the room, I'm feeling a little embarrassed, because I'm just like, I was just wondering how she wasn't feeling shamed coming out of that room, and there's two other people there, and we all just heard her having sex with this stranger, okay? But that was neither here nor there. Yeah, so she comes out and she's like, we'll call him Derek. Derek, that's not even a good name. So she comes out and she's like, Derek, let me holler at you. And she asks him, she's like, okay, my homegirl's gonna leave, are you gonna pay her cab? And he's like, I don't know still. And I'm just like, told you, Amber, see you never. Like, I don't have time, I have money, it's okay, it's not a big deal. And yeah, like, I never made any arrangements with that guy to pay my fare, so, and I'm not the one having sex with him, so like, I'm not expecting him to pay my fare. Like, I was just trying to get out of there. At that point, if Amber was a good friend, she would have left with me, but she didn't. So whatever, so we leave Amber. So I'm like, okay, nice meeting you all, thanks. I have the address, so I call the cab. I hop in the cab and I bounce. I probably got home at like 5:30, 6 o'clock in the morning. Not okay, okay? So the sun is rising, bitch. It is coming up. I feel so dirty. Like, I just felt dirty. Like, you don't come home, like, the latest you should come home from the club is like 4 max, only because it's downtown and then you have to drive all the way to Scarborough. But I was coming home at 6 and the sun was rising and I just felt like a dirty scumbag. So I get inside, I shower, and then I just go to bed. When I wake up in the morning at like, I don't know, 11:30, 12 o'clock, which is not an ample amount of time to sleep, but like when I'm drunk, I can't sleep through the night. I wake up and I check my phone, and Amber sent me like 4 texts, and I'm just like, oh my god, please don't let this girl tell me that these men done hurt her or something like that. So I open the text and she's telling me about how this man did not pay her cab fare, blah blah blah. She just is leaving now, like at like maybe an hour before. Like, I got the text an hour later. So she, around 10 o'clock is when she left. She's like, yeah, he didn't even pay for my cab, blah blah blah. I should have just left with you. I said, bitch, yes, you should have. Nobody told you to go spread your legs and expect somebody to pay your cab fare. Are you a freaking skank? Like, I don't get it. Like, if we had just left when we were supposed to leave, your cab would have been paid for by me from the club. It's a good thing that she was paid too and had money and we weren't just at the club broke, which is coming up. But yeah, so she had to pay for her own cab from Mississauga to Scarborough, and she felt dumb, and that is the second time partying ruined my life. And this third story actually takes place at a house party. It was one of my friend's birthdays. I think it was his birthday. Pretty sure it was his birthday. And this is actually right before me and Shooter became a thing. Shooter was at this party, and we're gonna call this one Too Drunk to Function. I don't know what it is, but I was drinking everything and anything, because it was like one of those parties where everybody from school was there, and so everybody just, if they had a bottle, they would be pouring shots in your mouth. And like, I was drinking vodka, I was drinking whiskey, I was drinking cognac, I was drinking everything under the sun and then some. I was drinking rum, I was drinking probably wine, I was drinking absinthe. Like, I had everything, and so I just kept drinking. At this point, I didn't really know my limit. I was there with my friend that didn't go to the school, but then I met up with my other friends that did go to my school there. I'm just there, I'm vibing, I'm partying, and I end up drinking to oblivion. I end up blacking out, getting blackout drunk. This was probably the first time I got blackout drunk. It's usually when I start drinking Henny after I've done had all these other things that I start to not be okay, and that everything becomes a blur, and that I might probably throw up. It was in a building, and it was on like, I don't know, it was on a higher floor. And so when I realized that I was going to throw up, I made my way to the balcony because somebody was already in the bathroom, and I was trying to get the person out of the bathroom. The person is like damn near passed out in the damn bathroom. I was like, bitch, you need to come out because I need to use the washroom to do the same thing you was doing. But they were just passed out at the toilet, and I was like, oh my gosh. So I go, and I actually need help walking. Like, I'm that drunk. My friend walks me out to the balcony for me to sit, get some fresh air, and throw up. Shooter's sitting out there, okay? And he was actually rude to me, and I didn't know this until like last week. But he said he was rude to me. He had his foot up again. He's sitting in a chair, and he had his foot up across at like, his foot was pressed up against the balcony. He wouldn't let me get past it, and I was like, can you move please? And this man told me no, okay? And it's not like we didn't know each other. Like, we were cool. I don't know why he was being mean to me, but he was, and he wouldn't let me get past. I think he was just playing around with me, whatever. It was rude. So he wouldn't put his foot down, and so he told me I can sit right there. He's like, you can sit right there. And so I think that was actually seated beside him. Maybe he just wanted to sit beside Bougie. Whatever. So I actually was sitting beside him. He let me sit in the chair beside him instead. And so almost immediately, as soon as I sat down, I started throwing up, and Shooter's beside me talking mad shit. I don't even know what the hell he was saying. I don't remember anything. I don't remember seeing anything. I don't remember hearing anything. I just remember throwing up. I'm throwing up on this person's balcony, and it probably stunk in the morning. I'm not gonna lie, because I probably ate a lot. Like, anytime I knew I was drinking, I would go out and eat a bunch of food so that the liquor would soak up the food, or the food would soak up the liquor, and I would be okay. But it didn't work that way this time, okay? So I'm sitting on the balcony, I'm puking. My friends are rubbing my back. Like, everybody's trying to take care, a little old bougie. And Shooter's over here talking shit. And Shooter, to this day, blames me for ruining his Jordans. I don't know which Jordans they are, and I don't give a damn. He always tries to blame me for ruining his Jordans. He knew I was gonna throw up, but he still sat there and wanted to make jokes while I was throwing up. So your Jordans deserve to get ruined, Mr. Sir. Like, don't blame me for your transgressions. You decided to sit there. I'm throwing up, and my friends think I'm done throwing up, but I'm not, and I'm just like, yo, leave me alone. Like, don't touch me. I don't care. Just leave me alone. And they're like, we're not gonna leave you alone, and which is the good friend thing to do, you know, because when you're drunk, you just say stuff you don't even know what you're saying. Once I was sitting there for like, I don't know, maybe 10 to 15 minutes without throwing up anymore, and just like crouched over, I guess they decided that it was time for me to go. Ask me if I remember how the hell I got from the balcony to the front door to the elevator to downstairs to the car, because I don't. All I know is when I woke up from my blackout, my friend was like, okay, we're home. And she had my key. She was letting me into my mom's house. There was two options. I either go downstairs or go upstairs. If I were going upstairs to my bedroom, it would have been 2 flights of stairs, and I just couldn't handle the thought of 2 flights. So I said, no, bring me downstairs. So she brings me downstairs, and I'm definitely suffering from alcohol poisoning. I'm freezing cold, like freezing cold. She wrapped me up in a blanket. She wrapped me up in the blanket and left me sleeping on my mom's couch in the basement. I think she took my key, so she locked the door on her way out, and that was it. Like, she just stayed until I fell asleep, and that was it. When I woke up in the morning, you guys, I had a hangover for 48 hours. I never had a hangover that long in my life. I never want to experience that ever again. But I had a hangover for 48 hours because I just felt so freaking sick. Like, it took me for like until like 9 p.m. the next day to not feel sick. And so my mom knew that something was wrong with me. Because I hadn't really been out of my room all day other than to like grab a bite to eat, and then I would just disappear back into my room. She knew I had a good night. You know, I turned up. She knew. And so that was the 3rd time partying ruined my life. I think it was that day that I learned that I have to get a limit, because when you first start drinking, you don't really know your limit, you know. You just kind of drink like a fish because it's exciting and woo, and everybody's drinking, and like you don't refuse drinks, and it builds your tolerance, it does, but at the same time you're killing your liver, and it's just a hot mess. So this 4th time that partying ruined my life was one night we decided that we were going clubbing. Me and my friend, we'll call her Aisha, and a couple other girls. There was probably about 5 of us, and we all went to the club. And at this time it was a ratchet club. I ain't gonna say which club it was, but it was ratchet, okay? And fights and stuff always used to break out here. And I've never been the type to get in fights, you know. I think I'm too good for it. So I've never been the type to get in a fight. But this night in particular was very different for me because we just wanted to get crazy. And so we're having a good freaking time. We have a booth because whenever I used to go to the club, we had to have a booth or I wasn't coming, because I like to be able to sit when I want to sit, okay? We have a booth, and we're vibing, and like we're giving shots out because we feel like we balling or whatever, and we're just having a really good time. And so a couple hours into having a really good time, my friend Aisha spots the girl that she says is or was sleeping with her boyfriend. Child, when it comes to cheating, okay, the person that you should be upset with is usually not the matey, but your man, because your man knows you're in a relationship. Not saying that the girl didn't know Aisha was in a relationship with this guy, or that the guy was in a relationship with Aisha. I'm just gonna say that even if she does know, that's irrelevant, because your man still went forward and slept with this girl. And so that girl's with her friends in the club, and Aisha starts grilling her. I don't even know how Aisha saw the bitch. She must have a side bitch radar on. Like, I don't know how she caught her in the club. It was dark in the club, you know what I mean? But she saw her, and it just upset her. And especially because she's drunk too, she just feels like she needs to page the girl. And I'm just like, oh my god, no, like, we're having such a good time. Don't ruin the night. And so I'm trying to talk Aisha off the ledge. I'm like, no sis, like, it's not the time. You can address her a different day. Message her on Facebook, like, you know what I mean? You don't need to address her in the club. It's liquor. Bottles might go flying. Bottles might get broken. It's not a good idea to start a fight in the club, because, you know, bitches be walking around with cutlasses and stuff, and I ain't finna get this pretty face scratched up for nobody, okay? So you better figure something out, bitch. Ow, my ass hurts. So yeah, like I said, I was trying to talk Aisha off the ledge. So Aisha's sitting in the booth now, and I'm just sitting beside her trying to calm her down, because she sees this girl and she wants to page her, and I'm just like, no, leave it alone. Like, it's not the time or the place. You're gonna let this bitch sour your mood. Go talk to your man when you get home. Like, you know what I mean? Text your man or something. Aisha wasn't having it. So she starts drinking a lot more, and she's just really, really upset. And she's still with the guy. So not like today, I don't know what she's doing today, but like, she's still with the guy at this point. Like, she didn't break up with the guy for cheating. So in my mind, I'm saying to her, like, you don't have a right to page this girl if you're still with the guy. Like, that makes no sense, you know what I mean? She didn't cheat on you, he did. So she doesn't really owe you anything. She doesn't know you from a cockroach in baseboard. Like, she doesn't know you. So yeah, so just let it go. Aisha's drunk and she's not hearing me, and so I'm like, all right, do your thing, my girl. First of all, Aisha can't fight, so I don't know why she'd be trying to page anybody, because she doesn't know the girl. The girl looked like she might got some hands on her, so I don't know why Aisha decided she wants to page her anyway, but she did. Aisha leaves the booth with my other girlfriend, and she walks up to the group of girls, and she says she wants to talk to the girl. From the minute Aisha said that to the girl knew who Aisha was. I could just tell by her body language that she knew who Aisha was, and so she kind of had a smile on her face, and like, if I were Aisha in that situation, I would have knocked somebody's teeth out. You ain't finna be smiling in my face if you've been sleeping with my boyfriend. Like, you're just not gonna do it. And I'm approaching you, even though I'm drunk. I think the way she approached her, she probably did have an attitude, but it was still a woman approach. It wasn't aggressive in the sense where she just came up on. My camera cut off. I have no idea what I was saying. Basically, if I were Aisha in the situation, the girl would be toothless, because you're not about to smile in my face when you know that you've been messing with my man. I see them exchanging words, and hands are being used for talking, and you know when somebody's hands get up here, you need to get ready to pop. So they're both getting irritated, and it's not like Aisha came up on homegirl swinging right away, because if she did, then I could understand getting into a fight, because if anybody should be mad in the situation, it's definitely Aisha, but I just don't feel like she should have been taking it out on the girl. I feel like I'm a little bit too far, and they are outnumbered. There's only 2 of them, and probably about 4 of the other girls, so I decided that I'm gonna walk over there too, just to hear what's going on and see if I can mediate it in any way. Wasn't no mediation, bitch. Wasn't no mediation. By the time I got over there, bitches were kicking and screaming. Like, I think the girl actually swung on Aisha first. Aisha dodged it, and then she tried to fight the girl, but then the girl's friends jumped in. The girl that was standing with Aisha, like our other friend, she kind of backed off, and I'm like, why are you backing off? You see that they're jumping in to beat up Aisha. Why aren't you like trying to like either pull them off, or like, you know what I mean? So I end up involving myself. I'm trying to fight people off of Aisha, and then that's when the other girl decides that she's gonna jump in and help me help Aisha. And so I'm literally kicking people in the face because they're on the ground, and I'm just like, this is so freaking ratchet. Like, I don't do this. We have a booth. We have a booth, okay? Like, we don't need to be doing all this extraness. Like, we were having a good old jolly old time, and Aisha decided she wants to go page this girl for what? So I'm literally trying to kick people and pull Aisha from off of the ground because I'm just like, oh my gosh, she's getting her ass beat right now. Like, these people are really just, they're beating her up. All these people are around observing the fight. Security is coming, and we're basically about to get kicked out of the damn club because this is just too messy. And so I finally get Aisha, and I'm trying to like tell the security guards, listen, it's okay. But the security guards weren't having it. They said, no, y'all bitches got to go, okay? We don't care how cute you is, you got to go. Like, we're not gonna have this ratchetity in our club. And that was just the bottom line because Stone Cold said so. And so that fight got broken up. We got our stuff from our booth and we had to leave the club, and that was the fourth time that partying ruined my damn life. Or that was the fourth story time, not the fourth time, child. I'm sure I could think of lots of many other times that partying was just a no-go. Yeah, Aisha was getting her ass beat. Anyway, the fifth and final story is stranded, okay? Because this is around the time when, you know, bitches was a little broke, and we would go to the club sometimes, and like we'd have a ride there but not one back, which is very stupid. I don't really know where we were going with that or what we were thinking, but that's basically what we would do because we'd always end up seeing somebody we know at the club that would give us a ride or something, or we would figure something out. But our priorities were kind of effed up, you know. So this one time in particular, we went with a bunch of guys that we knew, like they were our friends, or let me not say friends, but you see I use the quote, so it might be okay. Like, I'm using that term very loosely, the word friends. Yeah, we went with a bunch of people, and the night started off fantabulous. Like, the night started off awesome. We were having a really good time. Once again, we had a booth, but this time we were sharing it with the guys, and there was a lot of us. There's probably about 10 of us to this booth. It was 2 of us, so me and my homegirl, and then there was probably about 5 guys, and then 2 other girls. Does that make, that's 9. So like 9, 10 of us, whatever. Those people were all really close. Me and my friend were kind of the outsider. I was the real outsider. Like, she knew a couple of the guys, and I was introduced to them through her. And so we've gone out before. It was never an issue, but for some reason this night it went left, and and there was no stopping it. And so we came with them, but throughout the night things just were not, you know, they weren't going well. So like I said, when we get to the club, it's all good and dandy. We're all vibing. We have a booth, we have bottles, we're drinking, it's popping, whatever. My friend was talking to one of the guys, and one of his friends wanted to talk to me, and so that's basically what the situation was. His friend was okay, but like I'm just stush and picky, and like I don't ever, like, that time in my life I wasn't really trying to date anybody. Like, I wasn't really trying to have a boyfriend, you know what I mean? And so I would like talk to people, but I wouldn't give them that time of day, you know what I mean? I would be standoffish, and I'm still that way. Like, one of the friends was trying to talk to me, and I guess he could feel or sense that I wasn't really vibing with him, so he kind of caught an attitude about it. But like, it was just unnecessary, because if a girl's not interested in you, then she's just not interested in you. Like, you don't catch an attitude about it. Anyway, we kind of argued a little bit because he told me that I'm acting stush and I'm stuck up, and I'm just like, I am. I'm like, I am. Yeah, it's true. And so he kind of laughed, and then he was just like, okay, like, done. No, like, you know, he's not going to try to pursue me anymore, because clearly I don't want to talk to him. And so I don't know if his issue was I just wasn't saying I don't want to talk to him, or if his issue was because I didn't want to talk to him, I was being stush. That's like a Toronto slang. But it was what it was. I mean, I like to let people down easy. I like to just give them a vibe, you know, just vibe off of my energy. I don't like to, I never used to like to be too blunt when it came to certain people. And so I wasn't trying to hurt his feelings. I just, you know, He wasn't my cup of tea, coffee, milk, sugar, champagne, wine. Like, he just wasn't. So I thought that we could be amicable, but because he wanted more from me and I was giving him less than what he wanted to catch an attitude. And then obviously I'm gonna have an attitude because, like, I just felt like his behavior was unnecessary. My friend is talking to the guy she's talking to, and he goes and sits over there and he starts talking to that guy, and then me and my friend go to the washroom. So we're in the washroom and I'm telling her what happened, and she's like, he's so waste. Like, and I'm like, yeah, hello, hi, yes he is. I can't believe that he was even trying to talk to me. Like, how dare he even think that he had a chance. I tell her everything that happened or whatever, and then we go back to the booth. So we get back to the booth and the vibe is completely off now. Like, it's super off. And her guy is asking her, like, yo, what's wrong with your friend? Blah, blah, blah. Ain't nothing wrong with me. I just don't like your like, what? So she's like, what do you mean what's wrong with my friend? And this is like my good friend. So she's not going to let anybody slander little bougie, okay? So she's like, what do you mean what's wrong with her? There's nothing wrong with her. She perfect. So she's trying to defend my honor. The guy tells her that I'm moving stank or that I'm stank, and like he doesn't understand why I'm not giving him, why I'm giving her his friend bun and all this. And I'm just like, why is this bigger than it needs to be? Like, it's not a big deal. And so it was unfortunate because the guy that I didn't want to talk to was the driver, and so it's his car and we were all in his car. And so, well, that's the car I came in. There was two cars, but that's the car that I came in. The other car was packed. At the time that all this was going on and it was just awkward at the booth, I didn't think that it was gonna be bigger than what it was, even though it seemed to already have been escalating. But like, I guess he decided he didn't want me to ride in his car because I didn't want to talk to him, and so that's where the issue began. And so we didn't find this out until it was time to leave, because we were still in the booth, we were still vibing with everybody else, but it was an issue, and he was gonna grudge me for not wanting to talk to him. My friend is talking to the guy, and then she comes and she tells me everything that he's been saying, or that he's saying. Once she tells me that, I'm just like, okay, whatever. Like, I will never come out with them again. Like, this is absolutely too much. He's doing the most. And then I decided that I'm going to talk to the guy that she's talking to just to enlighten him, because I'm not being a stuck-up bitch. Like, I'm not interested in him. So I go and talk to her. We're going to call him her boyfriend. So I go and talk to her boyfriend, and I'm just like, I don't understand what the problem is right now. Like, I don't get it. Like, I'm not in the mood. I don't like him like that. He's cool. I don't have a problem with him. I think he's awesome. Like, we're vibing, but I'm not interested in taking anything to another level with him. And I don't get why that's a big problem. And then he's like, yeah, like, he's just like that, blah, blah, blah. And so the guy is understanding, I guess. At least he tried to act like he was when I came to talk to him. And I was just being real with him. Yeah, so anyway, we finished partying. It's 3 o'clock in the morning. The bar been closed, and now it's time to leave. So we're walking to the car. The guy that is driving, so the guy that has or owns the car, is talking to his friend, and I'm trying to hear what they're saying because he's whispering. Like, he's trying to talk under his breath, and like, he's not trying to let us hear the conversation. And I hear him say something about leave her here. And so I'm just like, oh no, this did not just say that, because leave who where? Like, it ain't going down like that. And so I grab my homegirl, and I'm just telling her what I think I just heard, and she's like, no, there's no way. Like, he wouldn't do that. Like, I know he's kind of upset that you're not talking to him, or that you don't want to talk to him, but like, he's not gonna just leave you here. Like, you're tripping, don't worry about it. We get to the car. He's standing at the car, and he unlocks his side of the car, and he gets in and unlocks the passenger seat, okay? And so the passenger seat was for his friend, the guy that's talking to my homegirl. He's not unlocking the back seat. He's not unlocking the back doors for me and my friend and the other person that was the other person that was in our car to get in, and we're like, yo, what's good? And so the other person that was in the car with us goes on to the driver's side, and he unlocks that side for that guy to get in, but he doesn't unlock the door for us. And so I'm just like, yo, is this guy dead ass right now? Like, is he serious? He was serious. And so my friend is talking to the other guy didn't get in the car yet. He's standing there and he's just like, yeah, like he's cheesed still. Like he doesn't really want her to come in the car because she's moving ways and blah, blah, blah. And I'm just like, no, like, no, this can't be right now. Like this can't be. Like, there's no way that he's that upset and that I'm gonna get left downtown Toronto because I decided that I don't want to talk to this guy and he's mad about it. Like, I came with you guys, I'm supposed to leave with you guys, I'm a young girl, like why are you guys trying to have me out here, blah blah blah. And he's like, I tried to talk to him but he's not listening to me and blah blah blah. And I'm just like, oh my gosh. So I'm heated, like I'm real mad. I walk over to the driver's side and I knock on the window and I'm trying to talk to him. I'm like, yo, what is your problem? Like, I don't understand. Like, I'm trying to page him at this point because I don't even care. Like, I can take a taxi home, but that's beyond the point. That's neither here nor there. It should never have gotten to this point just because I don't want to talk to you. You know what I mean? So I knock on his window and I'm like, what's good? I didn't think he was even gonna wind it down, but he did. He wound the window down and I'm like, what's your problem? Blah blah blah. But he wasn't responding. He didn't want to respond. And so I'm like, this is childish. Like, I can't believe. So I'm like, so you're really gonna just leave me and my friend out here? And he's like, no, your friend can come in the car, just you can't. And I said, are you fucking dumb? You think she's really gonna stand here and just and get in the car and leave me by myself? Are you fucking dumb? Like, you're stupid. And he's like, that's exactly why I'm not letting you in my car, you're disrespectful, blah blah. And I'm just like, shoot me now, like kill me now. Like, what are you talking about? You're threatening to, not even threatening, you literally got in your car, unlocked the doors for your friends to get in, and made sure that the side that I was standing on was locked so that I couldn't get in the car because what? Because I don't want to talk to you? I'm sorry. He king petty. Like, you're king petty. So whatever, I realized that there was no sense in talking to him. I was like, okay, you're waste. And it's a good thing that I'm not a broke ass bitch and I have money. I can take a cab home. So see you the fuck never. The friend that actually was talking to my homegirl, he actually stayed back with us because he felt bad. He didn't feel like the guy was doing the right thing. He thought it was being extra, which it was. And so he stayed back with us. We hopped in a cab and he paid for it and I got home safe and sound. So shout out to that guy for being a stand-up because his friend was a real bum. And that is the fifth and final time partying ruined my life. And yeah, like, I'm so glad my partying days are over and I'm like entering motherhood. If you had any crappy partying experiences that you want to share, make sure you leave it in the comment section below. I love you all and I will definitely see you in the next one.